Hey, Sean here with another quick hit. I am talking about Lessons in Chemistry, which is a brilliant series which I recommend highly for everybody to watch and study. But having said that, lots of spoilers coming ahead, especially for episodes 4 and 5. So please be warned. What I want to talk about today is the idea of misdirection. That's when in your story you want your audience to be thinking something that isn't true, to be following a wrong track. And there's a couple key things that you have to do for a good misdirection within a story. Number one is you cannot lie to your audience. You cannot show a character dying, you watch them bleed out, you see them dead, you see them in the coffin, you see them buried, and suddenly, nope, the whole thing was fake. Now that's going to work in like a Mission Impossible type fantasy world where it's like, oh, there's so many double layers or whatever, but not necessarily making a good one, and certainly in anything other than that extreme sort of genre, definitely would not be a good one. You cannot lie to your audience. What instead you can do is you can allow the audience to make its own assumptions and to mislead itself. And that's really what you're going for within this kind of misdirection, is the audience is responsible for the misdirection. So you do not lie. The other things that you want within this is you want a really good setup to lead you into the misdirection, and you want a payoff with the reveal. Once it is revealed what is really true, it shouldn't be just, oh, see, we fooled you, audience. See how clever we are as showrunners or showmakers or as movie makers. But it's everything has advanced. There's an understanding, there's an epiphany that comes with the payoff. And then the other thing in a good misdirection that you want is you want to make sure that within the misdirection, it is worthwhile. You're getting information. Things are moving forward within the misdirection. You never want to have a misdirection where if you remove the misdirection from the plot, pretty much nothing has changed. It doesn't help the misdirection doesn't help the audience. It doesn't help the plot. It doesn't help character growth. It doesn't help theme, whatever. So Lessons in Chemistry has a fantastic misdirection. They actually have a couple of them throughout, but this one is absolutely my favorite. This deals with Elizabeth's child, Mad. When she's a baby, we have a perfect setup, which is Elizabeth looking at her child and saying, "Who will you be?" And then we cut ahead 7 years. We see this blonde girl sitting in the playground all alone. She opens up a meal made by Elizabeth with a note to her daughter in it. She shows her loving attitude towards the food. And we think, oh, of course, this is Mad. Now, it's an honest misdirect because nobody ever says her name. Nobody ever calls her out. It seems very clear from the storyteller's point of view that they're trying to indicate this is her, but they don't lie to us. And as you go back and rewatch the several scenes that they have with her, you can see how honest they're being. That's another thing with the misdirect is when somebody goes back and rewatches it, they should be able to look at it and go, oh, I see what I did. I see what I did. I see how I misled myself. And that's absolutely true here. We see it with the shoes. She's wearing boy shoes. She's being teased for wearing the boy shoes. And she says, I have girl shoes at home too. It's like she's got lots of shoes at home. Well, we know that Elizabeth is poor, so we know that she's not likely to have a whole lot of options of shoes for her daughter, probably. So there's little things like that. There's little things throughout that keep it honest, but not enough to derail us from our own misconception. And then the reveal is beautiful when she comes out and Elizabeth is standing out there and you think that she's running to Elizabeth, but she's really running to her father behind Elizabeth. And we find out that this other girl is actually Mad. Now, what makes this so beautiful? Oh, here, I'm going to just restart this just so you can be looking at that and not my screensaver because I'm going long on this one. Several of the things that make it beautiful is the character of Mad is revealed. The question is answered, who are you going to be? Which is the setup question is answered through this by focusing on this other girl. The audience sees this other girl, our heart goes out to her, we see that she's being bullied, we see that she's alone, we see that she has no friends. We're going to find out later the reason that she has Elizabeth's meal is because her father's not feeding her well, and Mad is giving her lunch up every day to this young girl Who is Mad going to be? Mad is going to be the kind of person who sees the outsider, who takes care of the least of these, who does not see the social distinctions put in by society in determining who has value and who does not have value. That's who Mad is going to be. And that's why this is such a beautiful misdirect for us, is we yearn for this child to have a friend. We are introduced to a character who is willing to be her friend, and that turns out to be the character that we're actually studying, that we're actually learning about. It's a lovely misdirect. I don't feel like I was tricked at all into this misdirect. I feel like I just kind of followed along. I'm like, oh, I see what you did, which made me do what I did, and it has a beautiful result. That's been another quick hit.